All right, don't tell Steph Curry it's only preseason. He dropped this right before the Warriors preseason opener. Quote, keep going, young fella. Hashtag locked in. And he was. LeBron and Luka have yet to play in the preseason. But DeAndre Ayton looked pretty solid in this one. 21 minutes, Ayton collected 7 points and 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, Bobby.
Yeah, you got to look at what he looked like with Luka out there. Certainly rolled to the rim a lot, alley-oop.
Yeah, he looked fantastic. But Steph had something to say about this guy, Al Horford.
He gives us space. He gives us presence on the defensive end. You saw the pass he made to me out the corner on a give and go. So it's just kind of unspoken chemistry that will continue to get better.
Nice point there by Steph. Speaking of Curry, he also looked solid. Here, Curry with a series of nice dribble moves. Gets inside for the floater. Ooh, yeah. And a few minutes later, then we found Draymond to Steph, just like the last decade and a half.
Yeah, I've seen that play before.
Yeah. Curry into another one of his dribble packages here. Dishes it to Jimmy. What do you think of Butler's addition here, Mark?
Butler's addition?
Yeah. Now that they've had some time to go into the offseason with him.
I mean, him being there at a training camp, he also put the guys together in a group in San Diego.
Yep.
Got some more time with him, so Butler will be nice for him this year.
Connect with the miss here. LeBron James with the putback.
He looked more comfortable, didn't he, Ramona?
Well, he certainly didn't look very comfortable in the first game. So
yeah, well,
Warriors win
there.
this one, 111 to 103.
Talk about yesterday.
Okay. All right, welcome into NBA Today. George Sedano in for Malika Andrews. I'm here with the Hall of Famer, Mark Spears, our senior insider, Ramona Shelburne, Bobby Marks, our front office insider. So, Ramona, what did you see from the Warriors last night?
I saw all the Warriors out there. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw the main guys playing and taking this seriously. And I think that's huge for them because when Jimmy Butler was acquired at the trade deadline, they were really good when he was on the court together with Steph Curry. And then he gets hurt, Steph gets hurt, and we didn't really get to see them finish off last season together as a healthy unit. And it's important to me that they are taking the preseason seriously, trying to get minutes on the court together, trying to figure out how they play off of each other. And I mean, the Lakers weren't really playing their 2 main guys here, and so it's hard to judge their performance. But the Warriors want to come out of the gates fast here, you can tell.
Yeah, and they're deep. I talked about that with Steve Kerr last night. They feel good about their roster right now. Maybe there'll be some stuff, they have to figure out from 9 to 11. But last year they went into the season, Mark, having to figure out like 6 different things. Yeah. But Jonathan Kaminga is one of those things they'll have to figure out a role for. He signs his contract. Stalemate is over.
Yeah.
What do you see from him?
Happiness, joy, peace, which is surprising. I mean, I've been around a while. I remember seeing Iverson being unhappy in Memphis, if you remember that. And
don't go too far. Jimmy Butler. We were just talking about that, right?
Steven Jackson won now in Golden State. Kevin Durant not being happy. But I saw Kaminga dancing after the game, and he told me he was at peace. I think the guys, Steph, Draymond, Jimmy, and Buddy Hield played a good role in, giving them support. And I think that helped him a lot. He comes from a family from Congo that he said they never were a stressful family. That's not his DNA. And regardless to whether he's at Golden State or somewhere else, he feels like he's going to figure it out. But at Golden State, he's like, I'm committed here, and I want to win a championship here.
Yeah.
So it didn't sound like somebody who was trying to force his way out.
I'm curious to see, though, if he does the little things. A couple years ago, he was starting to do that. Remember, we had this big to-do about him and Steve.
He did say it was important for him to be very good on both sides of the court.
Yeah, I would agree that definitely is important for them. I mean, this is a guy who's got 30-point potential. We saw that in the games that Steph wasn't around after he went down due to injury. But a couple years ago, after the big to-do with him and Steve Kerr, they had this come to Jesus meeting or whatever, and he started doing the little things, and he could fall into 14, 15 points a game, Bobby. So what do you think can carry over with this group here moving forward in the regular season?
Well, I mean, I think when you look at the regular season, and we're going to go over to the touchscreen, if you're Mike Dunleavy Jr., their general manager, you're feeling pretty good this morning as far as where this roster was. And we didn't even see Al Horford last night in that starting role there for them. There was certainly a lot of different matchups. This is their depth. When you look at it, with Gary Payton the second and Al Horford and Seth Curry and Jonathan Kaminga, that's not their starting lineup with Steph Curry and Moses Moody. And here's some of the questions that we went into the offseason with. How can they get some size at 5? We heard Steve Kerr talking about how we're not going to see Draymond Green as much at the 5. Now you add Al Horford to the mix, a mobile rim protector here. Certainly Horford. Front court depth. You sign Jonathan Kaminga in the offseason here. Defensive mind reserve guards. Gary Payton is back. I think the biggest question, can you find that consistent third scorer? That plagued them a little bit during the postseason here. You have Steph Curry. You have Jimmy Butler to this roster. Buddy Hield is back. We brought back DeAnthony Melton, who's going to be out 4 weeks here. But they've addressed a lot of things that we were questioning in the offseason. And you saw, at least in those first 2 quarters last night, this Golden State team with Steph Curry on the court could be dangerous here.
Well, and the Jimmy thing is interesting because it allows them to get set on defense, which is important because he gets to the line. He doesn't turn the ball over. I think all those things are important. Speaking of important, the King has put out something on his social media about the decision of all decisions coming tomorrow at noon Eastern. Ramona, anything to this?
We all obviously saw this and thought, whoa, is he announcing something? And I don't know that we should get all that worked up about it. Just from those first
vibes.
Call, vibes, text, whatever. It doesn't sound like it. Yeah, something like that. It doesn't sound like it's something to get all that worked up about. He did this earlier in the summer and it ended up being an ad, so we'll see tomorrow.
Okay, fair enough.
Whatever.
Not a farewell.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll see what it is tomorrow anyway. All right. Whenever LeBron is back on the court for the Lakers, he'll have a new teammate in DeAndre Ayton. I caught up with him last night. Let's take a listen here.
I'm really just showing the team I can be a good rim protector for them, anchoring the defense, and just having a good communicative terminology to my guys, and just being their backbone out there.
How has the assimilation process been for you in just your second preseason game and a little bit of camp with the Lakers?
I mean, it's been fun, just running out, having a terminology where, Jay just letting us go out there and just play hard, be physical and just get our tails in shape.
DeAndre, good luck. Thanks for the time.
Thank you so much.
Now, it's interesting, Bobby, you started to address it earlier when we saw the highlights. JJ told us yesterday he wants them to play with force and physicality. That's what they're working on right now, specifically in the preseason. But how did Ayton look like? What did Ayton look like to you?
You saw a little bit of a glimpse last night, and this was out without Luka in the game as far as the ability to roll to the rim. We saw him certainly a couple alley-oops here. I think it's going to be interesting when Luka is out there with him, ability to set him up, pick and roll. But there were glimpses last night as far as how effective DeAndre Ayton could be without a Luka Doncic on the court.
He's one of the best pick and roll guys in the NBA. He's also had some up and downs in his career, as you can attest to. But this is different. This ain't Phoenix, this ain't Portland. This spotlight, I think, is going to bring the best out of him, and it has to bring the best out of him. If he's going to get the easiest shots of his career, he's going to play with 2 of the best players in the history of the world. They're going to make him better every day. And if he brings that talent that he has, he could be an X factor for something special in LA.